And now, in beautiful Technicolor from downtown Sandy Springs, it's Chef Megan.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody out there. Look at that. Look at that. Way to have, that was a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
It sure was.
Thank you. Actually, with that bellowing voice. And the reason you said Technicolor is because we have Technicolor going on tonight. So, kind of a fun little week here in quarantine. I was just announced about I'm an ambassador for Produce for Better Health and an ambassador in action, and I will be bringing to you tips and tricks with all the fruits and vegetables you can possibly think of. So anyway, so I thought let's just do a veggie-centric element here. I know is Mike Kelsey watching? He always wants me to make something with
Not yet, but Kathleen is watching.
Oh, well, yeah, like so Mike Kelsey, hey, we got a meat dish. So, whoa. All right, so what we're gonna do to get started, a couple of these are, have already been done in some format, so we're just gonna kind of review because, you know, repetition of information gets that into your brain, all right? And I can do these blindfolded or masked. I don't like wearing that thing, man. I can't breathe. And it makes me cranky. So I'm apologizing ahead of time to all the grocery store workers because I'm getting hot in this little bandana that I'm, dealing with. So anyway, I just want to get in and out, and I know that everybody is taking great precautions to stay clean and sanitized, and you know what? It's a life of patience. And this also kind of goes with a healthy eating 101 lifestyle as well. Breathing. Bringing it home in the kitchen. Kitchen prep should be fun, calm. Kitchen is, everybody's seen like Water for Chocolate, that movie. You put all the passion into the food, and then, then you're angry and everybody gets sick. So you've got to, the movie is so awesome. And anyway, in the movie, it talks about, that like just how food affects our lifestyle. So food affects our lifestyle, affects our mood. Anybody know somebody who's ever been hangry?
Sure do.
Yeah. Not me. I eat all the time. So anyway, so it does affect our moods. It affects so many things. So when you can gather produce, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, doesn't even have to be fresh. It could be canned or frozen or whatever. But when you have that going on in the body, you've got a better defense system because all the vitamins and the nutrients and the minerals and tonight I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So we've got sweet potatoes. I got a couple sweet potatoes. I got those delivered with the farmer's market delivery, and so we'll peel those and just going to chop those up. I know we did this before, but you can always make a different kind of chopping shape. I just happen to like them into, just nice rough chop, little chunk. I love that word, chunky.
Chunky monkey.
No, that's a chunky. Chunky's a mom word, isn't it? Yeah. How many? So sometimes we go through different phases of our life, and sometimes we're more chunky than other times. So I happen to be on the lighter side of chunky from my earlier days. Anybody remember? Anybody out there? No. So it's anyway. I like to eat, So it's just like when you change your food and your lifestyle, and you suddenly make your own food, and then you have control over your ingredients, things like that. kind of makes a nice little difference. So, because we have so many vegetables tonight, I am only going to do one sweet potato, but basically what I did is I just peeled the sweet potato, washed it, peeled it, and we diced that up, put it on our sheet pan, and we're going to take just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. So if you don't want to use a lot of oil, just move your vegetables to one side of your tray before you spread them out, and then you can just do it right on your tray, or you can toss them in a bowl and then toss them with your seasoning. So we've got a little bit of salt, we've got a little bit of fresh cracked pepper, and you can just shake them right on here and shake them all over your kitchen. So you just want a little bit of oil on all of those, a little bit of salt, good things, good things. All right, so then spread them out, and we're gonna pop those in the oven, and that's a 400-degree oven. So those will cook fairly quickly. So when you do dice them up, they do cook faster. So you don't have to wait a whole 45 minutes until you're, if you were to keep it whole, just because, you got to think about this logically, right? Right? So what's that?
Say hey to David Roland Johnson.
Oh, no way. All the way from New Jersey. Whoa. All right. So next up, what I'm going to do, I have a couple of fresh springtime vegetables. We've got some, how do you say it? It's a Japanese turnip, and they're little tiny
Hakure.
Hakune? Hakure. Yeah, these came in.
Like haiku, except hakure.
Haku are you?
I'm very cool. How about yourself?
Yeah, right. So the turnips, they're the size of a radish. So radishes, very in for spring, of course. And we're gonna do a similar cut on both of these, and that way they'll roast at the same time. They're just about the same size. Have you never had roasted radishes? Oh my gosh. The day I discovered these, and I love radishes on a crudité. I love radishes, to use it as a chip, especially if you're trying to be gluten-free. Or you can roast radishes. A lot of people, you have to realize how inexpensive radishes are. They're that forgotten vegetable. And these are, have a lot of nutrients in them. And a lot of people don't know that things like radishes and turnips and these kinds of vegetables are actually really high in vitamin C. Has anybody been told to take vitamin C lately? Only just for the whole past lifetime. So that's actually the one vitamin my mom used to give us.
Vitamin C is a good one.
Vitamin C.
Radishes and turnips are also very high in fiber and a great source of vitamin B6.
Oh, B6. Oh, be still. That's so good.
So good. Root vegetables.
Yeah.
So good.
So we're going to I'm just kind of slicing these down a little bit, because what we're going to do with them in the end is we're going to put them in a bowl. We're going to kind of design another grain bowl. So, all right. And I didn't say grain belts, but I could have said grain belts back in the day, right?
Cindy Smith and Marilyn Johnson are
watching. Oh my gosh, we got the whole
The
family.
whole family's here.
Ooh, did I say something bad? All right, so now these turnip greens, we are living in the South here, so we have turnip greens at every turn. Anyway, we got the turnip greens from the farmer's market, and they came attached to the turnips. So we're gonna cut those off, and you want to wash your turnips and your radishes really, really well, because they do grow underground in the dirt. So a lot of people don't realize that these beautiful vegetables might have a little dirt and grit on them. So, all right, so I'm just gonna cut those up. I washed those earlier.
Matt Powers.
Oh, Matt, how are you? Good to see you. Good. Friday night. Hey, aren't all you cats and kittens out there doing something really fabulous tonight? Oh.
Hanging with Chef Megan.
Yeah, so we... That's so cool. All right, so I'm going to save these greens. Why? Because I also have some Swiss chard. So in that beautiful, look at that rainbow Swiss chard this time. Yeah, this pretty rocking over here. So I'm just gonna trim up that rainbow Swiss chard. Just trim up the end. We had regular Swiss chard last week, and so this week, so this is grown right here in Georgia. Turnip greens are grown in Georgia. And we're just gonna be sauteing those in a little bit of olive oil and garlic, maybe a little onion.
You know what? The people are weighing in, and what they're saying is,
What?
we love radishes.
We got a radish club. Let's start
Oh
it.
my
Let's
God.
start it. The radish club. I mean, who doesn't love the radish?
So good.
Radishes and beets. Beets are the other underdog of a vegetable.
Turnips, parsnips.
Yeah, parsnips. Oh yeah, and my brother-in-law, the one from Ireland, he does a mashed parsnip. Oh yeah, that'd be the Hannigan. Yeah.
Oh, does he like the whiskey? Does he?
No, oh, gosh, who doesn't like the whiskey from Ireland? That's a really bad accent. Yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to do the same thing with these vegetables. Just give them a little bit of olive oil. Maybe no olive oil. Oh, no, there's a little bit there. So we're gonna, let's do a little bit of sea salt, and we're gonna roast those. But, you know, it's always good to multitask in your oven. Why is that? Because that way you have to actually work less. Cabbage, we've got another head of cabbage. We can't, are you making funnies?
You know how I love cabbage.
Yes, the cabbage jokes never stop around here. So we're gonna just take a whole head of cabbage and we're gonna lay it right next to this, and it's gonna cook in the same time frame. You have cabbage issues, do you?
I love cabbage.
Well, we're gonna be cooking
it's so
it.
purple.
So it's not gonna be as, you know,
cruciferous.
Well, it is. I mean, there's still, the fiber doesn't go away. It's just how it affects the body, maybe. How about that? So this is the quick and easy way. So we're just making little slices off of here, and we're gonna lay them on here. You could do them thicker if you want to do like a cabbage steak. But I just want to get a little pretty color on my tray here. And when we're roasting vegetables, they work nicely together. There's no party affiliation with these vegetables sharing the same tray. It's just like living in this country.
But they're not social distancing on
No,
that tray.
they actually are. They
mingling.
are. There's a little social distance right
Oh,
here.
good, okay.
There's a, yeah. So they're all going to end up together anyway. So, yeah. So, you know, don't want to keep them too separate. And a little bit of, did I do the salt on you? What's that? You can't say. Are you saying mean things? Never. All right, we're gonna pop these in right next to the sweet potatoes. So these will be about 15 minutes, both of them, and they're gonna be fabulous and delicious. That's a very colorful oven right now. So we got orange, red, white, purple. Yeah, white and white. So that head of cabbage, we'll put it in a bag, put it back in the fridge, and you just keep shaving it off each week or each day that you use it. You could actually pan saute this as well. So that's a good alternative.
Hey Megan, guess who else has just recently joined us?
Who's with us?
Kathy Shaw.
Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna have to order some of your dinners, girl.
She got it going on.
She does. She's always got a full kitchen there. So sometimes I went to the store today. You know, make these trips as little as possible. Try to get as much without overdoing it. But this also gets you into the knowing what you're going to go through in a week. If you are cooking for yourself, especially if you're cooking for yourself every day. I mean, there are restaurants that are doing fabulous business of takeout. It's not the same. So and we want to have that happen, and maybe, you know, it is Friday night, so, you know, make it a special night, or, you know, whatever you can afford. So have at it. I just happen to have a refrigerator full of produce and food, and the pantry's pretty well stocked, and you know I just gotta keep it all in rotation. Let's just say that. Okay. So remember the other night we did some cauliflower, and it never came out of the oven. Thank you, Matt Powers. No, it came out of the oven, and we ate it without you. So what's that?
Oh my God.
So I halved it, and we have the other half now. So, but we're gonna do a little something different with it because we have all those roasted vegetables. I'm gonna do something different with this one. Yes, you in the rear?
I have a question from the audience, Chef.
Yes.
The question is, how am I supposed to know when you're on? I randomly get on Facebook and then I love it.
Oh, you are so. I think you can check a box. I don't know. So here's the thing. What I have done with all of my Facebook Live videos, I have popped them over to YouTube. So I've been just putting them over on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube, Healthy Eating 101 video. I can, you know what? You can text me and I will send you, or I'll publish the playlist. Then you can go and look at all of those. And you know, it's kind of us just in real time as we're here. But you know, we're saving those videos, and we're coming up with a.
In case you miss them or want to share them, right?
Share, always share. This is a sharing world. Sharing is caring. So I've trimmed off the rest of the cauliflower, and you know, if you happen to get a few little brown spots on there, just chop them up. Okay, it's not gonna. That's not the deal breaker. I mean, if they're super brown, you know, you'll know when it's past.
What about if they're brown and leaky?
Ew. Leafy or leaky?
Leaky.
Brown and leaky is not probably.
Probably throw it out.
Yeah. So when in doubt, throw it out. You know, people come up with these phrases for a reason. So, you know, when in doubt, lock the door.
When in doubt, make it today's special.
Yeah. So basically, I'm breaking it up. We're just using the S blade in the food processor again. All right. So we're just gonna pop these in here, and we're going to rice our cauliflower. And I think we've done this before actually too, but just kind of breaking it up. We don't really have to work that hard at this, you know. So it's because the machine here, the food processor, is actually going to do it for us. Isn't that lovely?
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful.
It's delicious.
Repeat after me. That's wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do you love Schitt's Creek?
What?
Oh,
I don't like being up it.
Without your paddle. Oh my god. I just, it is so funny. It's my, okay, I would say before this quarantine, I was watching Schitt's Creek, and oh my gosh, it's so dang funny. What? Oh my god, you were having a little too much.
Kathy Shaw says that she loves us and misses us. She asked another question. What's Michael drinking?
Yes.
Kathy, that would be water.
The water, and that water actually has its own label on it. It's called Miller High Life. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he's a Miller High Life guy.
Wow. Low rent is what I am.
I don't know. I think it's a therapeutic, like back in the day thing. We love to visit, you know, people we've known, or pictures, or things that we had in our childhoods.
Now she called me a liar. Well, the Miller High Life was in fact one of the first beers that a friend of mine stole from their father's cabin.
Miller High Life was the only thing you could get a hold of.
Is that in there? Yeah. 16-ounce can too. Oh.
Yeah, and next thing you know, I'll be drinking boxed wine. What? Yeah, boy,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I don't know. Lockdown's tough, man.
Kathy said it was a step above water.
Right? I think, yeah.
It's had a couple barleys rubbed in it.
Yeah. So Now, granted, I like beer, but I like rich beer. I like beer that's balanced. I'm not a big IPA person, but because I'm over the age of 30, and but there are some IPAs that have actually really impressed me. So because I think it's when they add like the fruit flavors to the IPAs that make them a little bit more crazy good. All right, so we're ricing our cauliflower. I'm just doing a little pulse there, and we're gonna, well, hopefully it'll get down to the bottom there. So you don't want to turn it into soup, obviously, at this point. We just want it to be like rice. Perfect. And you can pull out the big ones here, and we'll get the cauliflower out of here, and then we'll do it again. So, there we go. So cauliflower, also one of those amazing vegetables, cruciferous vegetables. But when you have a dish and you don't want to do any gluten, or you don't want any carbs, the vegetable carbs are the ones you want. So those are going well within the body. And you know, we gotta just keep on top of our health and wellness now. So go figure.
Build that immunity.
That's right. And that is through fresh food, vitamins, minerals.
Sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
Walking.
So this is what we do.
Deep breathing.
Deep breathing. We're going to do more deep breathing, I think. Yeah. And I'm not talking about the phone calls you're making.
I have to pay for those.
Oh.
Still.
Can you text a deep breath? No. Anyway, so what we do, we walk about 2 to 3 miles a day. Just walk in the neighborhoods.
Minimum.
Yeah. And, you know, trying not to stop at a store or we don't see anybody except just other people out walking or jogging or whatever. And the other thing we do is, if it's sunny out, we sit outside for at least 15 minutes. Can't you see this Saint-Tropez tan here? We sit outside and get some vitamin D. Yeah, Kathy, I think it might be more than 1 Miller High Life.
Wow.
Anyway, so we sit out there and get the vitamin D. And the vitamin D, of course, the vitamin D goes right through your skin. So if you put sunscreen on and think you're getting that same vitamin D, we might not be getting that. I'm just saying. I'm no doctor, but I could play one on TV. All right, so we've got our rice. So everybody says to wear sunscreen. Well, we're just sitting out there drinking coffee for 15 minutes or whatever. So, and if you do before 10 a.m. and after 3, you know, and you're just a little better off. And granted, we're in a warmer climate. So, all right. So we have the riced cauliflower. Oh, I got a little bit more here. So whenever I rice cauliflower and I eat something with that, it's you don't get quite as full. It's kind of like, you know, like eating Chinese food or whatever, that you never quite get full, and then a couple hours later you need to eat. So, all right. So we might be making some meat dish after this, but for now it's just a vegetable day. All right. So get all our cauliflower out of here, and we're going to get our trusty little onion. Boy, I've really used a lot of onions in this lockdown. Some onions, a little bit of garlic. Then we're going to saute up the cauliflower and actually saute the greens as well.
You know that onions are the reason that Italians live to be like 1,000,000 years old.
Oh my gosh. You know,
garlic, I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, and you know, this dinner is in honor of my friend's mom, who passed away this week, and she was 95, and didn't die of natural causes, let me say. So that woman could keep going. She was Italian, No, I think she was Polish actually.
What?
So I don't know. So she married an Italian.
Whoa.
So she had an Italian last name.
Probably the smartest thing she ever did.
I'm
not passing judgment, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you. All right, so got a couple of tools here. So we're gonna also peel that garlic. So I always have fresh garlic on hand because, oh, that one's already, is that one already peeled? Oh, it is. I always have fresh garlic on hand because it's antiviral properties and we could use as much as we can right now. We don't care if anybody next to you has garlic bread. That means they're happy and they're taking care of themselves and they care about themselves. And that's what we need to do. So keeping that immunity system up. And then of course onions. Now, I'm gonna go, I call it cutting it north to south here. So basically root to stem here. And we're gonna peel those off. And this is a kind of a smaller onion, so I just may use the whole thing actually. So.
Is that a white onion?
No, it's more.
Vidalia onion?
No, it's not Vidalia, even though this week is Vidalia.
Purple onion?
Yes, it's a purple onion.
It is?
Oh, it's not. I'm kidding.
Spanish onion?
Spanish, yeah, that would be more like, yeah, it's
yellow.
that's a yellow onion. Mm-hmm. So you can cut off the stem and, oh, got a little peel here. Oh, geez, took the whole thing out. All right, so this one's a little smaller one, so I'm going to use the whole onion. And you can always make that executive decision when you are actually in the kitchen, because I'm telling you, you know, onions, they don't. No, I didn't like onions for a while. I don't know. I just, for some reason, they just weren't making it on the menu at the time. I mean, I never gave up on garlic though. Oh no, sir. I did not give up on garlic. So we're just gonna get a little bit of diced onion. So, what's everybody else having for dinner, and what is everybody else having maybe as a happy hour beverage? That's maybe what we need to know. So, all right. So we got some chopped onion and some garlic that we're going to actually. I'm not gonna mince it. I'm gonna chop it. And that way it has a little bit more to it. When you mince it, then it really gets incorporated into your dish. And I'm just in the mood for a little bit less of a mince, which is just chopped garlic. Whew. Those onions are starting to make me cry.
Oh.
Lord.
I'm so sad.
Oh my God. So, actually, what I think I might do is I might save that garlic for half of it for the greens, because we're going to cook the greens and the cauliflower separately. And I think we'll get that started. So we're going to put our pan on high, and we're going to get that rolling. And I'm going to actually use the macadamia nut oil because it actually has a higher smoke point. Yes, sir.
Time on the roasted?
Oh, did we put a timer on that? We're gonna wing it. Typically about 15 minutes. I can tell by the wilting of the cabbage.
Probably a couple more minutes.
We got a couple more minutes, and you can go anywhere 375 if you got more time, a little, or 400. You could even put those up to 425. So if you are in more of a little hurry. So sometimes we just kind of want to time it where everything else comes out at the same time. So, all right. So we're gonna warm up our pan, and we're gonna start with the onion. I'll just come over here, and we will wait for that sizzle. Yes, sir.
Is there any oil in that pan?
There is. I put the macadamia nut oil in there.
Sorry, I missed that.
You did miss that. So.
Kathy says she's having a blue moon.
Oh, I love blue moon. You got oranges to go with it?
And Kathleen says she loves garlic.
Rip! Finally. You're so funny. Yes, we love garlic. Cheers to that, right? Mm. And yeah, she didn't like garlic there for a while.
Well,
but now she's got a boyfriend, so maybe that's how it all works out. Alright, so as we're getting our onions up, one of the things I have to do with our greens, because when you saute greens, you don't want them really wet like this. And why do we not want them wet? Because we don't oil the pan. Maybe not so good. So, we're going to pop them in our salad spinner. Not just for salad, it's for drying your greens, drying your herbs. We got some basil today. And already grown. I have some growing from seed and I just can't wait. So I bought an actual basil plant. So that is busy getting its vitamin D as well today. Alright, so we already rinsed those. So I don't know if you can see, but like how much water actually does come off of that. So very important to always dry your greens. And you could lay them on a table if you don't have with a towel, and if you don't have a salad spinner. So salad spinners are kind of weird if you haven't had one. If you've had one, you probably haven't used it enough. So I use mine all the time. So you use your salad spinner there?
I do. Say hello to Marcia, who has joined us and is watching.
Oh, sweet! How about that slip and slide today, right?
Oh my God,
yeah.
crazy.
So,
it looks like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Oh, come on, man. They got like bumpers, like bowling bumpers.
When we were kids, it was like, I swear to God, it was like someone's dad that did work construction or had a boat, took the tarp out of the backyard and sprayed a little water out of the sprinkler line and said, go ahead,
yeah.
kill yourselves.
Garlic? Yeah, no, it looked really fun. So, yeah, the slip and slide we had was just basically just the runway. Now they've got the bumpers, they're doing, what do you call it?
If I'm slipping and sliding now, it's because I've been day drinking Negronis and there's a problem.
Oh, jeez. Day drinking. So we're mixing up this beautiful rainbow Swiss chard and the turnip greens. I always feel like I need to say that a certain way.
Turnip greens.
Turnip greens. Yeah. So
that song. That was a cool song.
That's it. That's a good song. I mean, if you like country music.
It was a cute song. Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So we've got our garlic and our onion in there. And now we're putting in our cauliflower. Our riced cauliflower. We just took, this is just half of a cauliflower. I mean, look at how much that is like making. That's just half of a head of cauliflower. So, remind yourself to get these fruits and vegetables and fresh produce or whatever you have into your everyday lifestyle because we just have to. I think we've come to a point where we realize that our health is more important than anything. So let's just reprioritize and, throw those up at the top. Like, it's like brushing your teeth, right? So, all right. So we got that sauteing. We're going to add a little bit of seasoning here, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, maybe pepper. So it's going to be delicious because what we're actually doing is we're actually using the cauliflower instead of rice tonight. Because we've had rice a lot this week. Yeah.
Roasted veggies.
Roasted veggies. Is somebody watching? Is that you? All right. So just checking. Yes. Almost done. Okay. So what I'm going to do with my greens, if you want, you can take your greens and you can kind of roll them together.
What kind of greens are those?
Those are a combination of rainbow Swiss chard and the turnip greens.
Turnip greens.
And the turnips are in the oven, so we're roasting the turnips. And, if you don't like vegetables yet, we're gonna have to have a real sit down with, you know, people and their vegetables, because first of all, you have to find what you like, because my sister used to only eat corn and potatoes. Like, she didn't eat, those aren't like, we need to just expand that a little bit, but that's when she was a kid. So what the good news is when you're 12 years old, that's the peak of your taste buds. So teenagers then start experimenting more because their taste buds aren't as sensitive. So when you're a little kid, all the way up until about 12 years old, and this is some research I didn't do, but I read about it, and it makes sense though, because as the older you get, the more you expand your palate. So that's why kids are a little pickier, they like certain things, and you know, a lot of it too is about texture as well. So finding those things that the texture works on. Yes, sir.
Little fun fact, that song was done by Billy Currington and is known as Good Directions and Turnip Green.
And you know what's so great about that song? So that song is about going down the old country road and looking for directions and
fall into a dang glass of iced tea.
Well, no, some woman, you know, lives down there along the road yonder, you know. Anyway,
Goodness.
Billy Currington, or the singer of the song,
Goodness.
tells him to go down and take a left or a right, and then anyway, Miss B or somebody has some sweet tea.
That's hang on. What is
But
her name?
he gets directions, and then it's like a hookup.
Miss
later.
Bell.
Miss Bell.
Miss Bell.
I
You
said
gotta
Miss
stop
B.
in and
I
ask
said
Miss
Miss
Bell
B.
for some of her sweet tea.
Yeah. So
Then take a left, take you to the interstate, but a right will bring you right on back to me.
yeah, so he was like picking
I'm
up
telling
some
you,
chick
man.
on the road, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's how they do it there in Georgia.
Is that what it takes in rural Georgia? Just some sweet tea?
Some sweet tea
Damn.
and a few vegetables.
Yeah.
All right, you know, we got, I mean, we this is a vegetable state. This is a great state for vegetables. So, actually, I think we're in the top 10 states for fresh produce.
What?
Yeah, who knew? We grow blueberries down here, tons of Swiss chard. At the botanical garden, we grow, oh my gosh, beets and okra and crazy stuff. But, like, it's, you know, all of these things are related. Spinach, beets, and quinoa are all related. Did you know that? How about you? How about you? All right. I have the worst southern accent as it is. You can see where my loyalties lie. Right here in Minnesota. So, all right. So we're going to pull out our veg. Ooh. Roasted radish and turnips and our roasted greens. Or I mean our cabbage. Our greens are here. So let's see where we're going to put that. I gotta just put it on a little thing. I'm gonna spin it around here. All right. So I've turned off the heat on our cauliflower, our riced cauliflower. So that again is going to be in place for our rice. And
What about the taters?
taters are gonna need another minute. But in that other minute, I'm assembling one other thing. So pan, turn on burner, and we're gonna do a little bit more oil. Actually, you know what would be really good in here? This is a Tuscan herb extra virgin olive oil. It's very lovely. And so we're gonna heat the pan up and we're gonna just wilt these greens. We're barely cooking them, but we wanna wilt them so they actually get absorbed a little better in your body. So, ooh, and that, that was a lot of oil, but that's okay.
Goodness.
So, all right. So I've got that little bit of garlic from the other half of our pile of garlic. All right. So as long as you don't, cook the heck out of it.
Chef, you know what the people are saying out there
What?
in Facebook and television
What?
land?
What are the beets?
Looking delicious.
Really?
That's what they're saying.
Yay. Oh,
That's
good.
what they're saying.
Good. You heard it here, you saw it here. So I'm just gonna, oh my gosh, they're so good. I have another couple of, oh, that's hot. So I could use some quinoa in here, but I think we have plenty with the cauliflower. I've got a little bit of goat cheese, crumbled goat cheese here. So crumbled goat cheese tastes really good on that cabbage if you haven't had that already, because that's like actually one of my favorite things to make. Because it's super easy, it's super fast, it's delicious. So we're just getting our oil and garlic going here, and then what we're going to do is take our dried leaves and we're going to pop them in the pan, and we're just going to wilt those down a little bit, and then we're going to have those as part of our cauliflower bowl. And we're going to do a little bit of salt. I put it somewhere. Oh, here it is. And
Say hello to John Bates.
John Bates, I haven't even met you yet. Aw, how are you? So, now, a lot of people wonder, oh, you put the stems in there. Absolutely. You know, so those stems from the Swiss chard or from the turnip greens. So those stems, think of it as like, you know, your vegetables down here in the dirt, and it has a stem to get up to the leaves. Well, we're cooking the leaves. The stem is the vitamin superhighway. I mean, it's got all the things in there, including all the fiber, and you do need fiber. Everybody needs fiber. And so if you're on a diet that doesn't include fiber, you might be on the wrong diet. So, all right. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. Woo. All right. So, here we go. So, we're just, look at that. It turns beautiful, bright green. Whoa, yeah. So good. All right. I'm going to pull the sweet potatoes out. Those were in there. How long have we been going? So
41 minutes.
Oh Lord, I'm so sorry. I'm just here to entertain for the night. You know, me and, you know, Mr. Wonderful here. So all right, so we're just wilting those down. So if you've ever wilted greens like spinach or arugula, same dealio. Same back channel is what I like to say. So so we're just going to season that, a little bit more salt. Now, I think what we can do is, I think I have all our elements. Yeah, let's go for it. All right, so we're going to get our cauliflower at the. So you can do this one of two ways when you're making a bowl. You can put your food in sections, just depending on what you want your picture to look like. Actually, I'll do one way and another one the other way. Or do you want them to match? You probably want them to match.
It's all good. John said he didn't know you were a Facebook star.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, John, all of 2 weeks now. No. So, let's see, here we go. So we're just gonna clear that out. We got, remember, garlic, onions, and cauliflower, riced cauliflower. So what's so funny is that this cauliflower, that is only a quarter of the cauliflower, and when it's all broken up like that, it actually digests a little easier. So just saying, if you gotta figure out how you're gonna have your vegetables. So, ooh, that was hot. You wanna figure out how you like your vegetables best, because we've got to get our fruit and vegetable fiber somewhere from fruits and vegetables. So there are enough out there that you're going to have to find something that works for you. So, all right, let's see. Where's my little tongs here? So we've got our what do you call this stuff? Cabbage. So we got a nice little bit of wilted cabbage. Yes, and this will be really fun later. So.
And why is that?
There's a lot of cruciferous talk about this cabbage stuff.
Oh, look who just said yummy, Ronnie.
Yay! Oh, Ronnie, you'd love this one, yeah, because this is all vegetarian. So we've got radish, turnip, sweet potato, and Swiss chard mixed with some turnip greens, and on our riced cauliflower, a little bit of cabbage for color, you know, so we can get our little. Here, maybe it'll be a little easier if I pick up the pan. Pop that on. Alright. So a little bit of sweet potato. I love sweet potatoes. You could use regular potatoes. You could use no potatoes. You know, it's all about what you have, what's easy, what's convenient. Actually, sweet potatoes are really easy to have around because they don't go bad and they don't go in the refrigerator. They stay outside of the refrigerator, and you really don't want to wash them until you're ready to use them. But wash them. You can peel them. You can not peel them. You know, so lots of different options. All right. So, ooh wee. So we've got the radishes and the turnips together. What's that?
Kathy Shaw said, "Where's the meat?"
Yeah, that's later.
Amen, sister. Where is the damn meat?
Come on.
That's all I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, you're all talk.
Damn greens. I need some meat.
Meat. All right. So, well, you know. All right, so we got that pan done. So we're building our little bowl, going all the way around here. So we'll put our greens over here. And this gets you out of having to eat a salad tonight, by the way. So just so you know. Or you could eat a salad too. We love salad. I love salad. I eat salad all the time, but this is a lot of greens. So even though we've cooked it a little bit, nothing is like crazy cooked. See, look at all those stems. Those stems are awesome. This one's gonna be mine. So, all right. So, I love all that noise. All right. So, gosh, I've only dirtied 4 little pans. So, what? All right. So.
Oh, Kathy's got barbecue ribs.
Oh, well, maybe you should go shelter in place with Kathy.
She told me to go over. I might just put them on the curb. I'm driving by.
I guess I'll have to be driving.
What was that you threw at me, Taylor?
That was a sweet potato, yeah. All right, so and then I have a little bit of the goat cheese. You can kind of put that on the cabbage or the greens, but you could use feta cheese, goat cheese. I love goat cheese, so I don't have very much in here, but all right. And then we probably want to give it one little last zhuzh of salt. Salt's not bad, it's just when you overdo salt. So when you're making your food yourself,
salty,
you're not gonna probably overdo it as much as if it was a prepared food that you bought in the grocery store in a package. And isn't it killing you, like throwing all this packaging away? No, it's killing me. Yeah, I like try to get everything in its perfect form. Look at that. This is like a bowl full of fiber, but it's also got a lot of nutrients, and there's different nutrients with each of these vegetables. So we always want to have something green in our everyday diet, but the best part of the well-rounded rainbow is what you want, because you're going to draw different nutrients from each color like that. And I think I'm going to drizzle a little bit of that Tuscan herb olive oil there and just kind of finish it like that. And, well, wouldn't you know, that's
dinner time.
And, you know, maybe we'll make a piece of steak or something. Steak or chicken. You could put this with any of it. You could also serve that family style, and people could kind of pick out what they like. But when you put it all together, it's like an artistic bowl. And the trick is when you are plating stuff to plate it all in the same place as the other bowl, and then it looks like you have 2 matching bowls, and then you look fabulous in the kitchen.
Bowlerific.
Yay. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's our Friday night, and your Friday night food. Yeah. So if you're hanging with us, man, you
Too
are
bad.
cool. No, we love it. We love it. And,
Yep.
you know, you got to keep yourself entertained in doing all the things: stretching, yoga, walking, breathing, cooking, and beveraging. Did you need to
Connecting.
Connecting. That's a perfect one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so Kathleen said food porn, and Kathy Shaw said zoom in so I can see. So do you want to hold these
Well, take
plates
it in.
closer?
Yeah, unplug it there. Unplug it. Well. Yay. How does that look, Miss Kathy?
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Yes. So we are having a good time tonight. I know, right? Unfiltered. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you all soon and give you all big hugs because it's time. Well, oh, gosh, I'd like to give you a hug. So for now, virtual hugs. All right, everybody wants to hear that. Bye, guys. Great, thanks for coming.